Now I'm on. There we go. One must get plugged in. Yeah, then you just have to go over there to see if I was okay. It's that time of day. I can see we're going to do that. Good morning, children of God. Good morning. What a wonderful day it is. Good to have you all here with us this morning. Not being known doesn't stop the truth from being true. You want to think about that a little bit? But one way I know that I can hold to the truth that I am is let's stand joined together and sing in the silence. In the silence there is a sacred place, a secret meeting place. Love is there. Loving Father, Mother God, we acknowledge your presence, moving in and through us in this moment. This day, we choose to be open, receptive, and responsive to your instruction and to your guidance. This day, we are grateful for the opportunity to come together, to worship, to sing, and to pray in the name, in the nature, and in the power of the Christ. Amen.
Today's daily word is life, and Flo will read the daily word.
Good morning. Good morning. The daily word for today is life. I am a creation of God. My life is God's expression. Now, the familiar creation story in Genesis says that God created the first human by breathing life into a lump of clay. As symbolized in that sacred story, I connect with my divine nature through my breath. Anytime I begin to pray, I take a deep breath and contemplate the power of life in filling me. Then as I exhale, I relax into peace. Now this cycle continues with every breath as I feel the energy of God moving in and through me. And so I affirm, I am a creation of God. My life is God in expression. And I'd like all of you to affirm that too. But first, would you mind taking a deep breath, that beautiful divine breath, and then let it out. And now affirm, I am a creation of God. Together, I am a creation of God. My life is God in expression. Together, my life is God in expression. And now let us all give thanks for the divine breath that gives each of us life, strength, and sustenance, allowing us to be a beautiful expression of God in the world. And from Genesis 2:7, the Lord God breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and the man became a living being. Thank you.
As you can tell, for those who were here, you can tell, and were here last week, let's put that caveat in as well, that we're still having a bit of a challenge with our multimedia programming. God invented the computer because he knew we were running out of boat anchors. And so when a computer dies, it becomes a boat anchor.
There you go.
Carefully planned event. As a lesson, we practiced this for hours and hours to get it just right. And it says here in the fine print that we'll clean it up as we go along, hopefully, that the words won't be so far below the screen that we can't figure out what it looks like. Remember that force thing? Oh, wait a minute, we haven't talked about that yet. We're going to. One of the things that we do know, thank goodness, is that the more we affirm who we are, the more that we're willing to bring that statement of truth into being, the more it shows up in our world. Let's take our affirmation together. I am a child of the living God. I have within me the all-creating power of the Christ. It radiates from me and blesses all whom I contact. I am now in the presence of pure being and immersed in the Holy Spirit of life, love, and wisdom. I am now in the presence. Let's breathe. Join with Steve and sing, I Believe. I believe. I trust. I have faith. Having spoken these words of the truth of me, gently and easily, effortlessly, I move to that place in consciousness to that place which Jesus called my inner closet. It is my secret place. It is here where there is no question, there is no doubt. The Father and I are one. It is here where I rest. And as I enter in, I set aside all those thoughts and feelings of what I should have done. I set aside those thoughts and feelings of what I have yet to do this day, And for right now, for this holy moment, I rest and I listen. In prayer, I am learning to ask. Here in the silence, in the stillness, answers come. In this moment, all my needs are met. These answers may come to you in word, in music, regardless, they come to you this day wrapped in love. And so in this moment, I choose to reach out and claim these gifts. As I do so, I am blessed. As I reach out and claim these gifts, I immerse myself in them. And as I do so, every cell of my being is re-energized, renewed. In this moment, I am whole and free. This day, I remember I am a channel through which good flows into my world. This day, I open that channel. That which has freely come to me, I send forth. For I know there is no lack nor limitation. These thoughts and feelings, our affirmation of oneness, move in and through this place, and as a part of their journey, they touch each and every one of God's children. As I realize this truth, I am blessed. I choose to be a blessing. The flow continues into our community, wherever that might be, across our state, across our country, touching each and every one of God's children. In this moment, I am blessed. I continue to be a blessing. This flow of life moves around our world, throughout our universe, touching each and every one of God's children. We know that regardless of circumstance, I am there. God is there. And in this moment, I am blessed. In affirming our oneness, we know that in truth we are never separate one from the other. And in this moment, someone, somewhere, somewhen is saying, thank you, thank you, thank you for the gifts that you have sent are gratefully received in this moment. I am blessed. And that blessing returns to you. The circle of life is complete. I breathe it. I rest in it. For one holy moment. Knowing there is more yet for me to do this day. I hold to this experience, but I bring back my attention to this room, to this place, to this now. And from my heart, I join with you and pray as Jesus, our elder brother, has taught us when he said, as for you, pray therefore in this manner. Dear Lord, give me what I want and give it to me right now. In the following manner, A, B, C, D, E. Oops, made a slight mistake. Just a little one. So let's shift. And remember that when we hold on to a specific outcome in our prayer work, In other words, this is what I want to show up in my world, and I hold to the outcome. I put a fence around it, for lack of a better term. And sometimes it doesn't show up at all. And part of that reason is because I'm trying to force the answer. This is what I want. Now, we don't even do that consciously sometimes. This is what I want. And sometimes it gets caught up in just in the language thing that we use as part of our teaching. We all talk about imagination. I want to hold a picture, yes, of what I want to have in my life. Okay. The challenge is I then become hooked on the picture and not the process of bringing it into fruition. That's where I'm trying to force it to happen. It goes back to the patience piece. Dear Lord, give me what I want. Give it to me right now. Right? We all have been there. It goes back to the same kind of thing. This is what we need to do, is we need to learn how to invite. Invite God to work. I was reading something that just tickled me that went along the lines like this. An individual is having a health challenge and said, would you pray with me? And so prayer work began. And as a part of that prayer work, a friend went to the individual who was having a challenge and said, I know a doctor who, and then laid out this information piece. Our friend went to that doctor. The doctor immediately diagnosed what the problem was, began a series of treatment that led to healing. And the statement was, God didn't do it, the physician did. Oops. Because that's the appearance, yeah? But we go to God first. We go to God first and then answer and be aware when the answers come from mankind. God works through us. God is us, within us. We got that. Mostly. But sometimes we forget that answers come when I invite them in. Not when I hold up a sign that says, only this way. And some of you mentally just went into your closet and said, oh, there's that sign. Right? Because we've all done that. We say, God is my source. And then we say, and my source will supply in the following way, and we have a list. And then we try to force this to show up in my world. If I just pray hard enough, if I just really work hard. No, I need to back up and allow God in. No force. No resistance. I just allow things to occur. Now, that doesn't mean sit still and don't do anything. This is where our words get jammed up sometimes because we paint this picture. Well, I'll just sit and God will provide, and that's true. However, there's an action piece in there that we need to put to work. Okay? We begin in thought and feelings, then we give power of our word, and now we need to take action along the line. And this experience I've been going the last 3 months, been going through in these last few months has been absolutely fascinating. Just fascinating in retraining my body to respond to what my mind thinks should already be happening. I'm beginning to really understand why 3-year-olds and 2-year-olds are really frustrating little critters. And frustrated little critters on top of it. Because they're still trying to get the parts to work together as a part of a learning process. And so when you're in the middle of that, then you get different results. And what I'm discovering is the more I am in a hurry to accomplish, the more I try to force results, it's the old 2 steps forward and 1 step back stuff. So I end up breathing, paint the picture again, think about the vision again, think about what it is I'm trying to accomplish again. See, in mind's eye, the parts working together in harmony. And sometimes this body goes, yay, and does it. And other times it's not yet. What? What do you mean you can't count to 10? Yes, you can. Breathe. What you need is there when you will invite it in. But it doesn't always look the way you think it looks. I had a friend who was having a challenge with balance. I know what that one's like. And it was recommended that they have a walker, because that would assist, that when they were balanced, they could readjust. And this one said no. And after the 3rd time he fell down, we said, John, why are you unwilling to think about using this? You're going to love the answer, particularly any of you who have dealt with this. I didn't want to look old. Because only old people use walkers, and I am not an old person. And he wasn't. He was only 75 years young. We finally got John to say, okay, I'll use the walker. But we were willing to work with him, because sometimes you need to paint the picture a little bit differently. And that's part of the learning process as well. Is when stuff shows up, you need to say yes. It doesn't mean forever. My doctor doesn't know it yet. But I will not be on blood pressure medication my whole life. Now, he believes I will be. That's what he told me. Because I asked right up front, how soon will I be off the meds? He said, you want the short answer or the long one? I said, oh, give me the short one. He said, never. What's the long version? He said, never. But that is his belief system. Okay. I'm not going to argue with him. And for now, we're monitoring. I take my BP on a regular basis. I'm paying attention. And I'm taking the meds. Oh, for me, by the way, that was a huge leap. It's my walker. Right? And as I move through this experience and bring about the healing for me that I need, learning the lessons that come to me, there's not a doubt in my mind that at some point I will no longer be taking those meds. Now, for those of who are skeptical, they'll say, yes, and we'll be at your memorial service on Tuesday. And it's okay. I don't know what that looks like or when. I just know that this is my experience. I'm going through it. And I'm willing to open up to ideas to come to me so that I can move through it. But I'm quit pushing. I'm quit, for me, not totally, resisting. I'm willing to say yes. Let me see what this looks like. Let me see how this plays. What can I do? What pieces show up in my world so that I can make a difference for me? Now, on the surface, that sounds horribly selfish, doesn't it? Oh, Rob, it's all about you. Yeah, it is. Just saying. It's also all about you. as an individual, because we're all on our own path. There's all individual pieces that we need to heal for ourselves. And each of us is a little bit different. We share with one another how we accomplish things. So that as you are going through a circumstance of some kind, that you reach out as I have done and others have done and said, in the moment I'm in a fear place and I needed to be reminded, fear not, for lo, I am with you always. Of what is there to fear? And when I can shift that out, shift the fear out, and invite the love in, as it were, wonderful things happen. On a regular and continual basis. So what's the key? What starts the process? For me, it's relatively simple. Notice I did not say easy. It's relatively simple. A thought comes in, doesn't matter what the thought is. The first question as the thought comes in is this: is this thought the truth of me? Is lack and limitation the truth of me? Is dis-ease the truth of me? Is disorder or inharmony the truth of me? And 99.9% of the time the answer is nope. It may be my experience, but it is not the truth. Okay, if it's not the truth, then I can set it aside, and this is when we go into vision. What is the truth? Truth is I am whole. The truth is I am free. The truth is I am at one-ment. That's the truth. Now I know what the truth, now I paint the picture. What does that look like? Oh, I know, for me, it means I can walk down this aisle and dance up these steps. And all my parts will do what they're supposed to. And they're getting better at it every week. For me, it means that my energy is elevated. And the steps I take, this is the action piece that I take, is for now, I'm taking the meds. It's fun after you, it doesn't sound like fun at the time, but it's fun. I just had my annual again, and the doc says, well, after reading all the stuff I gave me, he says, we're going to tweak your meds. You like that one? We're going to tweak your meds. And I said, okay. He said, and I love this, and I like his philosophy, we're going to tweak them because I began all this process with the lowest possible dose available. Isn't that cool? He could have started me at the other end of the pipe. Let's give you as much as we can possibly throw in there. What's your blood pressure today? Oh, that would be 0. Ooh, bad plan. Let's not go there. I got it down. All right? No, he started, here again, he's the pro. I'm just smiling, taking his meds, even though I don't know. Never mind. At the low end. Okay, so it wasn't quite right. So we tweaked him, and we'll see what happens. Another appointment, we'll take a look at the charts, and we'll, yay! Okay. And as a result, what I'm sharing with you is I quit fighting. Not with him, he didn't know there was a war. He had no clue. I'm the one that had to surrender, and he didn't know there was a war. What are you fighting that they don't know it's a war? What thoughts are you moving through? that if you would just surrender, leave that force piece out and invite the healing in, and then express it. Right? What would that look like for you? What would it look like for those you love that are not here this day, but are in my life? What would it look like for my world when I take force out of it and invite what in? Peace, love, a complete and holy notion of oneness, and holy with a W and holy with an H as well. But wholly invite these principles of truth that we know are the underpinning of everything. And we have the ability and the capability to bring it about when we invite. So this morning I'm going to ask you to take a mental picture of the person least likely on your list to invite. Everybody got a picture? We all have one, right? Doesn't matter who it is or what the circumstance is, least likely to invite. You got that picture? Now we're going to flip it. To that person, to that circumstance, through you, through the truth of you, say this: I love you. Together? I love you. To this person, circumstance, through the Christ of you, say, I bless you. Together? I bless you. Breathe. Regardless of the appearance, I appreciate you. Together? I appreciate you. And in this moment, I breathe. I behold the Christ. Together? I behold the Christ. Your world just changed.